If you're running a Zimbra environment, then you already know how important it is to keep it locked down. But here's the thing. Modern threats are getting really, really smart, especially when it comes to just breaking into user accounts. So let's spend a few minutes looking at a platform built to solve this exact problem. It's called Gatekeeper.
All right, let's dive right into the core issue, the one that probably keeps a lot of IT admins up at night. Just how do you guard the front door when people are trying to get in who shouldn't be?
So let's just ask the question straight up. How confident are you, really, that your defenses can stand up to something like a relentless brute force attack? Or maybe even scarier, credential stuffing. That's where attackers grab these huge lists of stolen passwords from other data breaches online and just systematically throw them at your system, hoping something sticks. It's a pure numbers game, and it makes your attack surface absolutely massive. And look, the reality is, these aren't just some far-off theoretical threats. For a service like Zimbra, which for so many companies is the absolute hub of communication, this is ground zero. This is how breaches happen. That login page, that's the front door, and attackers are knocking on it hard all the time. Okay, so we've laid out the problem pretty clearly. Now what do we actually do about it? Well, this is exactly where a specialized tool like Gatekeeper comes into the picture. So what is Gatekeeper? To put it simply, it's a security platform designed from the ground up for one specific job, to shield Zimbra environments from the very attacks we've been talking about. Its whole purpose is to be the guard at that front door. Now here's the really cool part, and it's all about how it's implemented. The goal here is to add this incredibly powerful layer of security without making you rip out and replace your whole setup. And, just as important, without creating a nightmare for your end users. It's meant to be a seamless upgrade, not some massive disruptive project. So, how does it actually pull this off? Well, the magic is really in its clever two-layered defense system. Let's break down what that actually means. Think of it this way. The whole system is split into two key parts that work together. First, you've got what's called the customer-side enforcement layer. The best way to picture this is as the bouncer at the front door. It's installed right there with your Zimbra server, giving you instant on-the-ground protection. But then you've got the cloud-based intelligence layer. This is the security control room. It's off in the cloud, constantly watching, running analytics, and managing the whole system. It's the brains of the operation, feeding real-time intelligence down to the bouncer. Okay, so you have the bouncer and the control room. What does that actually get you? Let's talk about the real-world benefits you see from this kind of setup. First and foremost, you get real-time protection. That bouncer stops threats the second they appear. Then, that cloud control room gives you this amazing centralized view of everything, all the visibility and reporting you need to know exactly what's going on. That, in turn, really cuts down on the day-to-day operational work for your team. You also get some really useful insights into usage and billing, which is great for planning. And finally, and this is a big one, all of this is done with super strong encryption that's in line with major privacy laws like GDPR. All right, so let's get practical. Putting a system like this in place is really a partnership. So what does that actually look like? Who does what? It's actually a really clear split. The provider, in this case Synack, handles that entire cloud intelligence platform, all the monitoring, the analytics, and crucially, the constant threat intelligence updates. Your job as the customer is to manage the part that's on your turf. So you'll handle installing that enforcement layer, and of course, you continue to manage your own Zimbra environment and your user accounts, just like you always have. And here's the bottom line on that. You're not just handing off a task here, you're gaining a partner. This shared model creates a really powerful collaborative security posture. You get a team of experts managing the global threat landscape for you, while you keep total control over your own environment. It's the best of both worlds. And that brings us right to the final thought. As attackers get smarter and their tools get better, our defenses have to keep up. So the question I want to leave you with is this. When you look at your current setup, is your security strategy really ready for the kinds of authentication threats we're seeing today?